Okay, our Mishnah is going to continue to discuss, we're in Beitzah, Perek Hey, Mishnah, that things that are prohibited on Yom Tov as they are on Shabbat, as we're going to see. So there's a bunch of different categories of behaviors that are not allowed on Yom Tov. The Mishnah says the following. Kol shechayivin ela mishum shvut. Anything that is obligated, chayivin, or really prohibited, mishum shvut. Shvut is from the word shev, sit. Shev al taseh. Don't do it. Okay, that's asru chachamim lasot b'shabbat mishum shvut. That term shvut is an important term. It's an isur derabanan. Or mishum rishut. We're going to see what this category is. Or it's rishut means optional. You don't have to do it. Or mishum mitzvah. It's a mitzvah, but you're still not allowed to do it on Shabbat or Yom Tov. Shabbat. So the things that are prohibited from shvut, don't do it. Or it's a rishut, or it's a mitzvah on Shabbat. Chayavim ala b'Yom Tov. You're chayav on it. You're not allowed to do it. You're prohibited on Yom Tov. And if you violate, you are chayav and isur. Okay, it's prohibited to do. Why the Mishnah uses the term chayav is an interesting question. If you have any idea, you can email me. Well, what are these different categories? What is shvut, rishut, and mitzvah? The following are shvut. Lo olim be'ilan. Okay, you can't climb up a tree. Why? V'lo rachvin al behema. Nor can you ride an animal. Why can you climb up a tree or ride an animal? Okay, let's look at each one. The Bartuner is going to explain each one. Lo olim be'ilan gzera shama yidlosh. Maybe you'll pull off some branches, or you can't ride an animal. Gzera shama yachtoch zmora lahanig. Similarly, you're going to grab a branch. You're going to grab a zmora, a reed, or like a branch. Lahanigat, in order to use as a switch, okay? Or velo shatina al pnei hamayim. You can't sail on the water. The Bartuner says the reason is because maybe you're going to make yourself a little raft. Velo mitapchin, velo misapkin, velo miraktim. You know the Rekod is to dance. What are the other two? Look at the Bartuner. Velo miraktim, velo mitapchin kaf al kaf. Clap to the music. You can't. Velo misapkim kaf al yarech. On your hip, you can't see my hip, right? You can't to the music. You're allowed to do it, just stop, but you can't do it to the music. V'lo meraktim beregel, l'rakid beregel, you can't dance. V'kulu or beregel, v'kulu gzera mishum, and all these are gzerot because of shama yitaken kli shir. Because if you're into the music, you're going to say, hey, bring out that music, bring out that you fix your guitar, let's go play music. And that was a gzera that the Rabbanan instituted. So those are the examplos of shvut. These are the things that are prohibited because of rishut, optional things that are not shavut. Lo danin, you can't judge. You can't have the Beit Din, even if they just sit and deliberate. There's no din. They can't do din on Shabbat or Yom Tov. V'lo mekachim, no marriages. V'lo choltzin, chalitza is when a wife loses her husband before she has her first child. So they have to do either chalitza or yibum. We're going to see this in the coming Masechta, in Seder Nashim. You can't do chalitza, okay, which is a required procedure in Beit Din. Also yibum, which is a kind of form of marriage. You can't do any of those things. Why can't you do them? Let's look at the Bartanura. Okay. Mitzvah, the time of the kulhu. The reason for all these things is gzera shama yichtov, because you have to write them down. You have to record. Next. Ve'elu he mishum mitzvah. These are the following things that you can't do that are mitzvot. Lo makdishim. Makdishim meaning to make something into hegdish. You're designating, you say, I'm designating, you're just declaring, I'm giving my card to hegdish. V'lo ma'arichim. That's when a person is a whole category of halachot called erchin. Erchin means, I want to designate my value to the Beit HaMikdash. Erko alai, a person says. Okay, you can't do that. V'lo machrimin. Cherem means also to give, hareini cherem, if I say, theoretically, this spoon is chayram, that means it belongs to the Beit HaMikdash. I have to dedicate it to value, give its value. V'lo magbihin truma u'maaser, and you're certainly also not allowed to take off truma and maaser on Shabbat, because it's called the tikkun. That's a tikkun kli. Let's see why you can't do all these things. Kula asrina rabbanim mishum dedamu lemikach umemkar. They're like business. They're connected to business. Shemot zimir shuto. They should hegdish, because I take something and make it hegdish. Okay? Why can't I take off truma to maaser? The havele mitaken, as we said. It's like mitaken. I could have taken it off before, because all my fruits and vegetables are ready. Hanimili perot tetvile me etmo. That's only perot that are tavel from yesterday. Ava perot tetvile ha'edna, but produce that's tavel now, for example, kagon. Isa, as we said, I'm allowed to make dough, allowed to bake. We learned in the previous Mishnah that you're allowed to, if I make dough, I have to take off challah and give it to the kohen. That I'm permitted to do because it's part of the process of preparing the food. Whereas when I picked my dates, I want to eat them now. Sorry, you should have done it before. The Mishnah continues. Kol elu b'Shabbat b'Yom Tov amru. Those things, all these things were said are b'Yom Tov. They're prohibited on Yom Tov. Kal v'chomer b'Shabbat. Al achat kama v'kama. How much more so on Shabbat? Because on Yom Tov you're allowed to do melechet ochel nefesh. So if Yom Tov, which is called Kal, you're prohibited to do all these actions to Rabbanan. So on Shabbat, Kal v'chomer, how much more so are you prohibited to do them on Shabbat, which you can't even do ochel nefesh? The Mishnah concludes, Ein ben Yom Tov l'Shabbat, ela ochel nefesh bilvad. The only difference between Yom Tov and Shabbat is ochel nefesh, preparing food. Okay, let's just finish up with the Bartanura. The Bartanura points out very importantly that that is only, one second, hach stama ke Beit Shammai. This, of course, this principle, the only difference is ochel nefesh is Beit Shammai. The Amri, as we said before, we learned in Perek Aleph, ein motziin et hakatan v'lo et halo. You can't do hotza'ah. The lo hutra hotza'ah ela letzorech ochel nefesh. The only time you could do hotza'ah, taking things from one reshut to another, is for ochel nefesh. That's the position of Beit Shammai. Aval anan kaimalan ke Beit Hillel. We hold like Beit Hillel. The Amri who said mitoch shehutra hotza'ah letzorech ochel nefesh hutra nami shelo letzorech. This is the principle of mitoch that we've learned about before. We've learned about this principle many times. Mitoch, once it's permitted, once I'm allowed to do a certain malacha, once I'm allowed to prepare, I'm allowed to cook, then I'm allowed to, allowed to cook also not for ochel nefesh. Once I can warm up water to drink, I can warm up water to wash my face. That's mitoch. Okay? And therefore, according to Beit Shammai, Beit Hillel, they don't say ein ben Yom Tov l'Shabbat, ela ochel nefesh. Once I'm permitted to do things, once I'm permitted to do hotza'ah, then I'm also allowed to do it, not l'shem ochel nefesh, and that's how we paskin. We'll stop here, dedicate our learning as we always do to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha Bar Yitzchak Kalman. If you have comments or questions, as always, feel free to email me at this email address. Have a great day.